Parang replay lang ng game number 2 yung nangyari dito sa pagitan ng game number 1 between Smart Omega and Neos as well as Minana Archives. Kaya naman isang magandang buhay! Auntie Anara, welcome to the analyst segment kung saan hihimayin natin kung ano nga ba ang nangyari in that game number 1. Kaya naman, let's break it down. Kung papansinin natin, almost similar yung naging movements na ginawa dito ng side ng Smart Omega Neos doon sa ginawa ng RRQ Hoshi noong game number 2 kanina nung unang seri natin. Mapapansin natin na gumamit din ng utility jungler dito si Andoryu kahit na madalas natin siya nakikita using the damage jungler. Which is why our MVP of the match is none other than Dan in his Pakito because not only was he able to dish out enough damage output against his enemies, he was able to hold his fort against the Fanny. Kung papansinin natin, yung lineup na meron dito, yung side ng Barangay, lahat sila, almost all of them, ay merong pang-counter against a Fanny. Nakita natin yung Vexana na merong Terrify, yung Ruby na may Don't Run Wolf King, yung Fredrin na merong Only Taunt as well as yung Pakito na merong suntok para sa suntok. Kaya naman medyo naging mahirap for the side of Minana Archives to be able to back down doon sa team fights na nangyayari doon sa matchup natin. And after, even before the first turtle, makikita natin kung paano yung naging movement dito nitong si Andoryu in this Fredrin. Nagiging maganda yung ability dito ng side ng Minana Archives to set up tempo for the rest of his team led by Neja in this Grok. However, hindi nagiging enough yung damage output nila because again, yung purple buff nitong si Kozen ay continuously nakukuha nitong si Andoryu in his Fredrin. And kung papansinin natin, no, all throughout the match, yung red side purple buff, never siyang nawala. Ibig sabihin, naiwan lang doon yung maliit na purple buff which means na never magre-regenerate yung malaking purple buff. And ang nagiging response na lang dito ng side ng Barangay ay paulit-ulit nilang kunin yung purple buff nitong si Kozen. Kaya naman, before the first turtle, nakuha na lang ni Kozen ay yung purple buff niya dito sa second lord of the match which made it difficult for him to be able to dish out damage output for the rest of his team. And really, that's the danger of picking a Fanny early on into the match kung saan sobrang hirap pa and sobrang dali pa para sa kalaban mo na i-counter out yung Fanny natin. And because nakita na natin na isa sa mga early picks ng side ng Smart Omega Neos doon ay yung Ruby, kailangan medyo naging mas cautious and wary doon yung side ng Minana Archives, which is why when we look into the build as well as the emblem sets for both of our teams, hindi naman sobrang different nitong mga sets na to. In fact, yung Lethal Ignition dito na pagkakagamit nitong Fanny ay really what we are seeing now. But then yung Quantum Charge coming from Dan, ito din yung ginamit ni Ferds noong game number 3. Kaya mukha talagang naging replay lang ito noong game number 2 ng side ng RRQ Hoshi. And kung titignan natin, no, yung orange and purple buff dito ng side ng Smart Omega Neos, it really went in their favor as well as the rest of the neutral objectives. 9-2-2-8-7 while yung side ng Minana Archives ay 0-0-0-1-4. Ibig sabihin lang nito, mas nag-take control si Andoryu in terms of rotating into the jungle and itong si Berto in his carry ay just freely farming kasi walang threat against him ng isang Fanny na supposedly kayang umabot towards the backline. Again, minention na natin to kanina noong binabanggit natin how the entire composition and lineup of the side of Smart Omega Neos has its own counter against the Fanny. And to everyone out there who's watching, wag na kayo masyadong matakot sa Fanny, especially if kaya namang mag-utility jungler ng inyong kakampi. Ang kailangan nyong gawin, kailangan nyo lang paulit-ulit na puntahan yung Fanny and i-deprive siya with this purple buff to ensure na hindi siya makaka-rotate with all of his cables freely around the map. Which is why, in terms of damage to turret, hindi natin nakita na nakapag-fight back dito yung side ng Minana Archives. Yes, again, minimension natin na maganda yung mga setups coming from Neja and yung follow-up coming from Milk Tea. However, their damage output was not enough solely and mostly because of the fact na Smart Omega Neos yung nag-take control of the entire jungle ng blue side. Which is why it has been easy for the side of the barangay to just take game number 1 against their opponent, Minana Archives. Kaya naman, again, to everyone out there who's watching, kung manonood man kayo dito ng MDL Philippines Season 3, hindi na natin masyadong kailangang matakot sa ating mga assassins because we have utility junglers and objective wins games. Again, kaya naman, excited ako marinig kung ano nga ba ang thoughts ng aking co-casters. Kaya naman, Athena and Ingan, how was game number 1 for you? Clean sweep! And that's total domination coming from the barangay. What a very masterful attempt in terms of being able to sweep their opponents. And just like that, Smart Omega Neos wins against Minana Archives in the last series of today's matchup. Magandang buhay, I'm Auntie Anara. At now, dito sa ating analyst segment, susubukan nating himayin kung ano nga bang nangyari doon sa matchup na yon. Kaya naman, let's break it down. It all started with Andoryu replicating what he did in game number 1. It seems as if yung ganong kind of strategy just doesn't work on Assassin alone. It also works against utility junglers. And again, yung sinasabi natin kanina noong game number 1 na kailangan i-adjust ng side ng Minana Archives yung kanilang rotation in terms of being able to protect the buffs, hindi nila masyadong nagawa mostly because of the fact na mas mabilis yung rotation coming from the side of Smart Omega Neos. Because of the Benedetta on the XP lane as well as the Lilia on the mid lane, makikita natin just how fast they were in terms of clearing their minions and dominating the jungle of the blue side. And kung papansinin naman natin yung lineup ng Minana Archives, no, maganda din naman yun in terms of synergy. Again, this is a Minotaur na merong only crowd control as well as the Phrygian na meron ding only crowd control. So, only din yung vengeance coming from this Arlott ni Milky. And kung medyo nagwa-wonder kayo no, kung bakit ni last pick yung Roger as well as itong Gord, a simple fun fact lang to everyone who's watching, merong true damage dealt itong si Gord with his passive. And yung Roger ay yung in his human form, yung dinidil out niyang damage ay based sa total HP ng kalaban. Meaning, nineneglect niya yung HP percentage ng kalaban and nagdi-dish out lang siya ng damage output. However, medyo nag-lack lang doon yung Minana Archives in terms of being able to implement such, kumbaga, mechanics. And it's just that at this point in the time, talagang na-out-rotate sila dito ng side ng Smart Omega Neos. Again, similar to what they did in game number 1 and actually, similar to what RRQ did in their game number 2 kung saan gumamit ng Claude yung kanilang gold laner. Makikita natin kung paano fully minaximize dito ng side ng Smart Omega Neos yung capability ng Claude to split push and i-couple mo pa yung fact na merong Benedetta on the XP lane. Sobrang bilis ng ginagawa dito ng side ng Smart Omega Neos. While in terms of emblem, medyo hindi natin masyadong nakita yung Impure Rage onto that Benedetta. If any, Lethal Ignition lang din naman. But it's the same. It deals out more damage output than what you would expect coming from a Benedetta. Again, similar to game number 1, lahat ng possible objectives ay kinuha dito ng side ng Smart Omega Neos. From turrets, to lords, to turtles, sa kanila na lahat. And even the orange and purple buffs. Ibig sabihin lang nito, laging out-leveled ni Andoryu si Kozen in terms of the objectives. Which means, it's easier for the side of Smart Omega Neos to snowball, deal out damage, and ensure their win. Again, this is all because of the lineup that they have. And again, for everyone who's watching their gold laner command, kailangan mong i-replicate yung mga ganitong klase ng gold laner na you should know when to peak, sabi nga ni Catriona Gray. And yung pag-peak na yon ay kailangan lagi ka ng part ng team fight whenever the team needs you. And at this point in time na 13 minutes and 48 seconds lang din naman yung naging total duration ng ating time, hindi naman masyadong kinailangan ng side ng Smart Omega Neos yung damage output coming from Berto and his Claude because the damage coming from Andoryu, Ukir, Dan, and Doc Wen were more than enough. So yung Claude natin dito ay talagang focus lang sa kanyang goal, which is to deal out damage against the turrets, which ensured na Smart Omega Neos not only has control towards the jungle of the blue side, they also have control towards the entire map kasi wiped out lahat ng turrets. And again, as Ingan mentioned, this is total domination coming from the barangay. Kaya naman ready na ba silang karapin ang RRQ in their next game? Yan ang ating aabangan. Kaya naman Athena and Ingan, interested ako to hear more of what you have to say. Kaya naman balik na sa inyo.